once again, any question, comment, jokes, or disagreements, you can just super chat that in.
Because I wanted to address... all right, I'm obviously supposed to be off this week, but obviously I needed to come back because I wanted to address Mr. President Donald Trump. He is obviously arrived at a moment, and I just wanted to hopefully these words will get to him. So I'll just say that. Dear Mr. President Trump, I've always been a fan of gladiator movies. I have watched them all countless times. Everybody who watches this podcast knows that. And when I consider what it is that I am so drawn to, like, is it the actors? Is it the storyline? Yeah, in part, of course. Who could deny, like, the performance of Russell Crowe in the first film? But above all of that, the characters, the script, there sits this sort of incontrovertible truth that I am absolutely fascinated by, which is the fragility of empires. Right? What is it ultimately that collapses an empire? What makes an emperor weak or an emperor strong? I think more to the heart of the matter, the question is, what is it that makes a king or an emperor feel threatened initially, right? The setup of every movie is always the same. You have the wealthy elites, the politicians perched above a Colosseum, slaves fighting to their deaths beneath, all for their distinct entertainment, obviously. And then comes the inevitable narrative flip. Suddenly, the elites and their scribes and the senators, they perceive a threat. And when does that happen? That's actually not a rhetorical question, Mr. President. I know the answer. It is when a slave begins to command the crowd every single time without fail. That's when the politicians begin to feel worried. And what is of particular interest to me about that moment is that the slaves on their end, they never desire the seats of the politicians, right? They just want to have their most basic needs met. In most circumstances, they'd happily would serve some sort of structure of governance forever if they're based.
Oh, my bad. I said shout out to my man Michael for sending in a chill for 6 jewels. Appreciate the support. Like I said, hey, I'll read out gifts as well. If you don't want to say anything in the super chat, you can send a gift also to support the show. Appreciate you.
Basic needs could be met, but it's proven to be a historical impossibility, right? Inevitably, we arrive at the moment of political extravagance, the fabled let them eat cake moment. They just can't stop, right? There can be absolutely no truth between a master and his slave for that reason. The nature of the relationship forbids it. And I think about this a lot now, very often, mostly in the context of our late mutual friend, Charlie Kirk. I think to myself, when was the exact...
Who was against war with Iran, by the way? I mean, you remember Charlie Kirk went to the president, like, bro, personally, directly to say, please don't get into war with Iran. And the president didn't. He listened to him. Charlie Kirk was out there vociferously saying we should not get into war with Iran. So it's kind of crazy how, you know, all you guys in MAGA was crying and all this good stuff about Charlie Kirk, and we should carry on his message. Well, where the fuck are you now? Because some of y'all who are crying about Charlie Kirk is out here supporting the war. Well, I thought we was carrying on the brother's message. Y'all looking kind of treasonous right now.
Moment that Charlie Kirk understood that he was not free, that he had money and that he had fame, but he did not actually have freedom. You know, between you and I, whoever it was that made the decision to kill him was correct in their assessment that he was indeed a threat, because Charlie Kirk could command a crowd. He was capable of that. So much so that he actually, if you think about it, he's been dead for 7 months and the crowd still moves on his behalf. That's incredible. That is real power, Mr. Trump. You should ask yourself, how did he achieve it?
Hey, and shout out to my man Kirkland Brown, ironically. Just sent a flower for 30 jewels. Appreciate the support, my man.
I would offer it's because he never sat above, perched, looking down at the slaves, right? Charlie understood how movements were built and, more crucially, how they were sustained. Someone actually said to me shortly after his death that Charlie was a maestro. He understood that every instrument was needed to command an orchestra. The strings, the woodwind, the brass, the percussion, all very different sounds, but he could hear them each brilliantly, each section And at various times, he would conduct one sound above the other, more flute, less violin.
Hey, shout out to my man, the Lunatic Libertarian, bro. Appreciate you for starting us off on the super chat side. He says all centralized systems are failed. And shout out to my bro. Oh, shout out to the rest of y'all who supported as well, man. Shout out to you guys.
Cello, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, different instruments, to be sure. But only a fool or someone under the express direction of one could have thought to hit send on what you published on Truth Social last night. And I think that we should read it together, Mr. President, shall we? Okay, here's what you wrote. You wrote, I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years.
Pause. That part was funny as hell to me because I'm just like, bro, it's only been like, bro, it's been less than a year. Actually, they was all on your side for the first 3 to 6 months of your first year in office. Now, all of a sudden, they disagree with you on this, one or two things like the Epstein files and the war with Iran, and now they've been fighting you for years? Like, bro, that don't even make sense.
Especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon because they have one thing in common. Low IQs. They are stupid people. They know it, their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. Look at their past, look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them.
I'm sorry, really? Bro, you're talking about you like Mark Levin so much. Like, bro, Tucker Carlson, way bigger than Mark Levin, even when he was on TV, way bigger than Mark Levin. Megyn Kelly, even when she was on TV, way bigger than Mark Levin then and now, both Tucker and Megyn Kelly. Candace Owens, she's not really part of the on TV generation. She's kind of got her start at Daily Wire, and she was bigger than, bro, all of the Fox News pundits. Let's keep it real. And Alex Jones, all these guys are bigger and have a better message than all of the guys you're kind of, I ain't gonna lie, Lindsey Graham, Mark Levin, yeah, those guys, yeah, they're bigger than all of them. I'm gonna be real with you. They got a bigger platform, they got a bigger audience, and they're more inspirational than Mark Levin and Lindsey Graham, Laura Loomer, and the rest of the pro-Israel idiots. Sorry, but you're kind of effing yourself by going against the real America First guys.
They are nut jobs, troublemakers, and they will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they can get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them. And their views are the opposite of MAGA, or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. Okay, let's park it there. Right? Let's just chew on that portion. Right?
You know what's so crazy? If you really ask people, what's your problem with Tucker? Tucker's evil. He's an Islamist. It's like, so you don't really have no reason to hate Tucker because he's probably the most pro-American guy I honestly I've ever listened to is Tucker. Candace, one of the most pro-American, I'm be real with you, health nut as well that I've ever listened to. So if we're trying to sit here and say that these guys are traitors, these guys aren't pro-American, then I'm sorry, we've lost the plot here. Look at their resume. Look at what they've spoke on. Look at what they've exposed. They're more pro-American than Mark Levin, Lara Loomer, Lindsey Graham, Randy Fine. Like, this is insane that you're willing to throw these people off the bus, but you're willing to invite on the likes of Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, and Lindsey Graham. Have y'all lost y'all goddamn mind?
There first, because it is a stunning break from reality. So I'll ask the question, do you have any idea why it was, Mr. President, that
somebody said, tell me one thing she exposed. She exposed the fact that, what was it? George Floyd. She exposed the fact that George Floyd didn't die of the knee being on his neck. She exposed that entire drift that BLM was doing off George Floyd's death, bringing up bank accounts, bringing up transactions, balance sheets, and all that, proving that they used George Floyd's death, BLM I'm talking about, to gain money and didn't give no money to the family of George Floyd whatsoever. So yeah, that's what she exposed. Oh, she also exposed the vaccines, a shot in the dark. You ever heard of it? Yeah, you might want to go watch that because she exposed how a lot of these vaccines allegedly are dangerous for you. So, and your kid that they try to give your kid at the beginning of birth. you might actually want to go look into her a little bit before you sit there and say she's evil, because she's done more things than all the people you dick riding right now. But all right, though, let's get into it.
Your old tweets, the sentences you used to say, which were typically definitely insults back in 2015, but do you ever wonder why they worked? I can help you. Ready? It's because they were rooted in some element of truth. Okay. So if you called Rosie O'Donnell unattractive, or when you said Hillary Clinton should be in prison, it played to the crowd, because although many people thought it was inappropriate and beneath the dignity of a politician, it was based in truth, right? Hillary Clinton's done some things. Now, you can call Megyn Kelly a great many things. I have definitely had my political disagreements with her over the years. Low IQ? Really? Tucker Carlson, low IQ? Me, low IQ? The three of us unsuccessful somehow? When you write stuff like that, you just demonstrate nothing but your own irrationality. It just doesn't land.
Yeah, like Candace, probably, what was it, top 5, top 10 biggest podcasts in the world right now, doing 100K plus live views every time she goes live, million of podcasts. She's doing Joe Rogan numbers, guys. Yeah, like sitting there and calling her a fail, bro. Even Joe Rogan would sit there and look at you like, bro, she beating me on the list a couple weeks. What are you talking about?
And nobody cares about them anymore. Really? You're the leader of the free world and you're tweeting about us. I think that means somebody cares. Actually, what nobody cares about anymore, and what you seem to have an inability to comprehend, is that traditional cable news no longer moves the needle. Cable TV is a dying medium. FDR, he used the radio, right? His voice, the fireside chats, it worked.
That was dope.
It moved audiences when it was new. And
I thought that was pretty dope. Like how a president would just sit there and talk to the American people every now and then. I'm like, huh. Trump kind of did that, with his damn near daily press engagements, but he never did just sit down and be like, all right, man, this is a plan. This is what we about to do, man. Hope y'all with me.
When the world transitioned there, and then suddenly it was the dawn of television, JFK's good looks on the screen that served him, and he used that. Once again, fast forward to today, and the world is technologically advancing. Yet you're launching insults at what you don't comprehend. Joe Rogan is not going to do Fox News hits. Do you understand this? He is not trying to get on CNN. None of us are. I don't know how else to help you understand. You are quite literally mocking people because they comprehend something that you don't. Tucker Carlson is more powerful than you. Deep down, I think you know that. And I think you resent that, which is proven by your next lines. Let's read on.
Oh, guys, let's make sure we're double tapping that screen and liking the video, guys. You have any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements, feel free to send it in through a super chat, or you can just send a gift to support the show. Either way, appreciate it. But other than that, double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Let's get to 200 likes.
You continue, MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump, not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same.
I mean, actually, he's been better. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Actually, he's got more numbers. He's done better. He's actually, I ain't gonna lie. It looks like he turned his life over to Christ more than ever. So I don't know about that. And I'm sorry, though. But Trump, the fact that Trump believed that 100% approval rating by CNN of MAGA, I was like, I'm sorry. But bro, they're just trying to gas you up because you're committed to a bad idea. And, the old saying says, never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake. Actually, you should promote your enemy while making this mistake.
Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Okay. Obviously, Tucker Carlson is in his prime. The whole world understands that. That sentence, he couldn't even finish college. Are you aware that your base is comprised of blue-collar workers who never went to college? Many who never so much wanted to go to college, never dreamed it. The farmers, the ranchers.
Yeah, it was the trades guys. And I mean, I'm a college graduate. I got my degree and all this good stuff. But a lot of people under Trump is like, bro, they're not college graduates. They're the hands-on guys, the trade guys. So the fact that you said that as if that was a dig is wild.
There's the plumbers, the electricians, the people who work with their hands. You now stick your nose up to all of those people? Do you know who else didn't go to college? Charlie Kirk didn't go to college. Also, those men, many, I would say, a lot of the men and women that you and Pete Hegseth want to send to their deaths in the Middle East, many of them, probably most of them, didn't go to college.
Yeah.
And let me be perfectly clear here when I say that each and every one of them is infinitely more smart and more capable than you and the people that you surround yourself with in this moment. But let's continue.
Let's go.
Because CNN says you got 100% support. You write, or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question, or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close.
Yo. Hey, yo.
This,
I'm sorry, but like, look, man, look. I don't even see Candace as all that attractive, but she is 10 times better looking than Brigitte Macron. Like, you, bro, come on, bro. What? Trump, you tripping? You now you just talking out your ass at this point. I mean, you could have said your wife looked better than her. I mean, maybe we could sit there and run that game, but Brigitte Macron, like, come on, dog. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
it's Brigitte Macron.
That was funny.
Who did you write that sentence for? Not even Brigitte Macron and Emmanuel Macron applauded that sentence, okay? They said incroyable. It doesn't help. Sometimes propaganda, when it's too naked, actually just hurts the cause that it purports to support. What is your obsession with Brigitte? This Brigitte Macron in the swimsuit?
Hey,
you think that you can command people, men, straight?
Yeah, that Brigitte Macron who wears the same like wig the whole time. This is why we think she's a man, because she never steps out without that blonde little piece on. Like, come on now, guys. Does that look like a woman to you? I don't know. Just might. Maybe some of y'all wives look like Brigitte Macron. I don't know.
Great men to suddenly think that Brigitte is hot? Did you date Jean-Michel Trogneau? Are you gay? Why are you so obsessed calling me from the White House? Stop talking about Brigitte.
Nah.
Is it a physical attraction truly that you had there back when he was better looking, I suppose? Did you sleep with him when he was a man? Do you think people care? To your point about, I hope she wins money since it's all you see, gold, shekels. Do you think your base cares when the subject matter is children that are being statutorily raped by their supervisors? Do you understand that no one in MAGA, in true MAGA, cares about money above truth and protecting children?
Yeah.
Did you connect that dot?
I mean, really, like, bro, you know, I'm kind of going against my entire MAGA base, going against the war and even taxing questions about Epstein, and then even supporting Candace Owens in her little investigation of Charlie Kirk. Like, a lot of guys in MAGA don't like, and my constant criticism of Israel. Yeah, a lot of people in MAGA don't like that. And you didn't think I lose a lot of money not, following the lies? You didn't think I lost a lot of money doing that? A lot of support? Exactly. Why? Because I care more about truth than money, unlike some of my MAGA brethren or some of these MAGA influencers. Some of these guys are still drinking the Kool-Aid, knowing damn well this is bad, but they don't care. They're too far in. If they start acting up now, they might lose their whole livelihood. Luckily, my livelihood, even if it was, is not too connected into YouTube.
When we revolted against you saying, what about the Epstein files? That seems to be a theme with you. Protecting people who harm children. Why do you keep doing that? Why do you want people to be sued for standing up to that class? We continue. Let's go back to your message conclusively, right? Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have. It's all about money for you, Trump, isn't it? For his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming that it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, who you just cited as saying you had 100% support. So are they fake or are they real, Trump?
Yep, can't be both.
Now, the fake news CNN The failing New York Times and all of the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They are not MAGA, they are losers, just trying to latch onto MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want. But when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing.
You know what's so crazy? I kind of backed them up on the whole Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. Actually, well, yeah. I understood what Marjorie Taylor Greene was like talking about when she said, look, you're focusing too much on foreign policy, and this is why your numbers are down, because you're not focusing enough on domestic policy, which is why a lot of people voted for you. Like when you first came in, you probably spent maybe the first 3 months or 4 months to focus on domestic policy, and then then you focus on everything outside of America. So Marjorie Taylor Greene had a really good point with that. And then also she had a really good point with, yo, what's up with these Epstein files? I mean, what's going on here? And according to her, she called Trump about it. And Trump says, well, it's going to hurt my friends. And after that, there was a complete fallout. And she completely let MAGA, like, honestly, harass Marjorie Taylor Greene and put death threats on her. And, you know, not saying that he sent them, but she basically did come to Donald Trump in confidence saying, yo, this is what's going on. You think you can kind of ease up the pressure on me? And he pretty much said, fuck her. And I was like, well, damn. And this is where she started lashing out, going on CNN, MSNBC, MSNBC, anywhere that's like anti-Trump, because she wanted to get that message out on how Trump is low-key switching up.
Right for our country.
I mean, think about it, bro. He traded in Marjorie Taylor Greene for Laura Loomer. Like, we were cooked.
That is about winning and strength in not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again, and these people have no idea how to do that, but I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. Was that written by Mark Levin, like when he was 6? Or who put this message together? The hottest country in the world, because we're bombing kids for no reason, because we just killed 150 schoolgirls for no reason, because you guys just lied about 6 of our servicemen who died. And they had to leak that to CBS News, that you were lying about what was happening. Is that what makes us hot? Is Hot Girl Summer being led by Brigitte Macron and people who attack people, other journalists, for telling the truth? What's going on? Who put this message together for you and hit send? You're citing CNN, but you're also dissing CNN for having produced certain polls. I don't know. You just told us that we couldn't get on CNN, but now you're saying that we have good coverage on CNN. You're all over the place. It seems like you can't put together a coherent thought. Let me tell you something, and this is just reality, okay? Going back to just the rules of the jungle. Okay, let all the politicians and advisors around you evaporate for just a moment. Just you and me, ready? People will not fight beside, behind, or for someone who is fundamentally disloyal. Okay? If disloyalty and deceit is in your nature, then I highly suggest that you combine it with silence. You can be what you are, but I would advise you do it quietly, Trump, because MAGA is no longer commanded by you, and you know it. You know it. You belong to the Epstein class. That is your legacy now. People will see your name on buildings, whatever was agreed upon in those boardrooms with Jared Kushner.
Oh, guys, make sure we're double tapping that screen and liking the video, guys. Appreciate the support, by the way. But let's see if we can go ahead and get to 250 likes by double tapping that screen and liking the video. And if you have any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements, I'll be happy to read it out loud and engage with it. Just go ahead and send in a super chat. Appreciate the support, guys. And that helps us get to our goals, so we can go ahead and open up that call-in line and run a conspiracy hour, which I haven't done in a while. Let's go.
Trump, Gaza, hotel, whatever you tweeted, so crass. They will see that. You will earn that. And then when they see it, they will think about how many children had to die or be raped by men on islands so that you could stick the Trump name upon a building. And for clarity, Mr. President, that's not my fault. That's not Megyn Kelly's fault. That's not Tucker Carlson's fault. You made that trade. You chose money above respect. And what an absolute shame that you chose to do that toward the end of your life. Okay, because you can't take money and things and stuff with you when you go, just your soul. And you sold yours for what? another gilded ballroom?
Mm.
Let me be perfectly clear when I say this. Charlie Kirk, he died free. You will most certainly die a slave. Okay. You are in chains right now, and the entire world can see that perfectly. At best, what you can hope for in this moment is that maybe one day upon the college campuses that you so deeply cherish, they'll teach all about your now tarnished legacy as the perfect modern day example of Plato's allegory of the cave. You familiar with that one?
Yep.
The prisoner chained in a cave, multiple prisoners chained in a cave with a fire burning behind them, mistaking shadows on the wall for reality. And when one of those prisoners escapes and makes it outside of the cave and into true daylight and sees, oh, wait, that's not reality, and they return and they try to tell the other prisoners, but no, there's truth and there's actual reality outside. They fight that person. They don't believe it. They call that person crazy. That's you. You are chained inside of a cave right now. And who's making those shadows on the wall, right? At best, the annals of history, I think within them, you will be relegated to a philosophical discussion, the madness of President Trump. People will ask, who made Mr. Trump believe the shadows on the wall were real? The professor will chide the class. And in essays, students will cite the example of the man who was once considered a leader of a movement, suddenly reduced to sitting on the side in the Situation Room at the White House while the leader of a foreign country, Benjamin Netanyahu, stands above him, convincing him that Iran represents an imminent threat which can be crippled within weeks. The students in that class will be mystified. It will be such a compelling examination. Good discussion.
Oh, no, it is going to be quite the story, like probably like 10, 20 years from now when they say, yeah, our president really did listen to like foreign intelligence over our own. Yeah, we had our own intelligence going out there and our own military advisors pretty much telling the Trump that, yo, this is a bad idea. The Israelis is lying. They just want you to go to war. This is not, trust me, it's not going to work out the way you want it to. And it's going to be crazy when, you know, future American children got to read that, yeah, instead of listening to our own, he listened to a foreign country. And I mean, that is kind of wild. Like, I'm not gonna go say treasonous because I mean, you know, they're an ally in name only, not actuality, but in name only. But it is insane though that we like say he sat there and let a foreign government put our men in danger, our economy on the line, our tax dollars spent, and he just let a foreign country convince him into that instead of just relying on our own. Like, look, if our own intelligence sold him this shit, I'd be mad, but I'd be like, well, at least it's our own. But he listened to Israeli intelligence over our own people.
Bibi is your master. Maybe it's Miriam Adelson that lights the fire and Bibi that makes the shadows on the wall. But the entire world recognizes that now. And though I highly doubt that you will be permitted any opportunity to see what the crowd now thinks of you, I have to do my best to try. So here you are. Take a listen.
I don't know who's whispering to this guy's ear, like freaking Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, but they're telling you wrong stuff, bro. Half of the people that I grew up with in this movement are not on Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin's team. Okay? We aren't neocons. We aren't war hawks. We want America first. And if you make me choose between America first and MAGA, it's America first all day. That's what MAGA was supposed to be. You were just the best vessel for it, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
But as bad as he is,
I mean, bro, yeah, don't get it twisted. Like, bro, you came in on America first, and that was putting American workers first, putting American industries first, building up back our economy and stop selling out to foreigners and stop letting foreigners invade our border. It's like, bro, that's what we were about. And yeah, oh yeah, and no foreign wars. Oh yes, like right there at the pinnacle. Because if we can't do that, then everything else just collapse. So yeah, we were never, trust me, it was never just about Trump. I remember when Trump said, "Oh, MAGA is me," and I disagreed with that right off the back. I was like, no, MAGA are the values of putting America first. It's not just Trump. Because if we made it just Trump could do whatever the fuck he wanted, and y'all just gonna go along with it.
As he's gotten, the insider trading, all of it, I'm really glad he's differentiating and saying, you're not with me, because I'm not with you. I don't want to be at your cool, corrupt kid, Howard Lutnick, Jeffrey Epstein class table. Thank you so much for delineating that I'm not with you, a sinking, burning ship. He wasn't loyal to his original mission. He wasn't loyal to America, and he became a creature of Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu, and all of his never-Trumper enemies are now the court.
And ain't that crazy? Like I said, the never-Trumpers, like the guys who rode for him the hardest, who campaigned the most, who really got millions of people to vote for this man, because it wasn't Mark Levin that got this man in office. It was none of these people here that's representing the pro-Israel movement. No, it was the likes of Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and Alex Jones. It was never these Israel first guys. And you're tripping if you actually think so.
Years with the madness of
But
King
let's be
Lear.
real. A lot of you who's talking ish about Candace and Alex Jones now, y'all are watching their ass while they were cheerleading for Trump. Y'all are watching me while I was over there campaigning and cheerleading for Trump. I'll throw my hat in there. But as soon as we start saying something, now all of a sudden we're un-American and we was never MAGA, when we was agreeing with you on the same ideals that he wrote in on, do y'all hear yourselves?
Telling him the lies and worshiping him the way he wants to hear it, and I am not one of those people.
This proves one of many things. The first thing, he shouldn't be in office anymore. Implement the 25th. He's not loyal to this country, and he's not loyal to anybody. Well, except for that little country in the Middle East. It's almost like he does what he's told. And the last president to tell that little country no was JFK, and we all know what happened to him.
Yep.
It's like Donald Trump. How can you call them losers when you lose to Bibi Netanyahu in Israel every single day? When's the last time you told them no to anything?
He said Brigitte Macron is far more beautiful than Candace Owens.
All I can say is he's blind.
Dang.
That's all across the internet. Take your pick, left and right. People understand that message was really your basket of deplorables moment. I mean, even on Truth Social, your very own platform, they've turned on you. Let's go through just some of these responses, okay? What? You are way out of line. Most of these people, especially Alex Jones, have been your day ones. That's correct.
Yep.
Just to remind you, Trump, when no one would have you on, when no media.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. Alex Jones was playing mental gymnastics when it came to the Epstein files and Trump. Bro was literally trying to say, look, man, I know it looks bad. I know it looks like a cover up, but trust me, Trump got everything in order. He has the best in mind for America. Like, bro, even when I was falling in faith with this man, I was like, bro, I'm about to be done with him. Alex Jones out here going like, well, you got to believe us. Don't worry. Donald Trump is going to get in line. He's not falling for the neocons. He's not falling for the globalists. And it's like, well, guess what? He did. And shout out to Alex Jones because he's calling it out. And when you have somebody like Alex Jones who hung on to Trump longer than me, longer than all y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how you know something's up. When the guy who was damn near doing mental gymnastics to defend this man is now like, I'm done. I'm done. There is no defense of this. It's not America first. It's not what we voted for, and I'm out. And that's how a lot of y'all should be.
Media company would have you on. Alex Jones had you on his show. This person continues, you need to take a step back and take a good hard look at who is whispering in your ear and get back to America first.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is how I know you lost, buddy. Yeah, he says, okay, that little country, the Middle East, is the key and prevents Islamic. No, actually, they create Islamic extremism. Actually, by the way, if you don't know, you want to know why Hezbollah was created? Because of Israel's invasion of southern Lebanon. That's why Hezbollah was created. One terrorist organization they created. Why does Hamas exist today? Because Hamas was funded by Israel, through the Israelis, to undermine a more, well, I would say this, a less radical government in Gaza. And they funded Hamas. And so has Bibi. They actually created Hamas. So that's two terrorist organizations that they created. Yemen, through their constant mistreatments of the Palestinians and their support for rebel groups in Yemen that also attacked the Houthis, that's another one that they create. Well, actually not even created. I'm gonna give them agitated. So far, we got 2 out of 3 terrorist groups that I mentioned that they've created or one agitated. Are you serious? And they admit to this, by the way. Israel admits to funding Hamas.
This person,
And
Trump,
creating.
you are just going against everyone that fought for him to win just because of the Epstein files and being at war with Iran for Israel, but didn't leave MAGA. MAGA left them. Clearly, you are insane. Time to resign, Donald, or face the 25th. You are mentally and emotionally unfit to be POTUS. You are so childish. Clearly, the truth has triggered you, being one of your biggest supporters. I am done with you and your lies. Look at the mess that you have gotten our country into by bending the knee to a monster. I could go on, but I have to say that when I was looking online, in my view, what was the most brutal and sadly a recurring response all across social media was this. Take a look at this tweet about Charlie. People were saying that Charlie would be on this list if they hadn't killed him. Like I said, many people said that in different ways. Charlie would be on this list if they hadn't killed him. So
no, that's true.
You should.
Charlie Kirk would have been on this list if they hadn't killed him. That's just the fact of the matter, because we all knew that Charlie did not want war with Iran. He actually went to the president directly to stop a war with Iran. So trust me, Charlie would have been on Candace Owens' side, Tucker Carlson, and Alex Jones. I mean, so are you guys going to say y'all have been against Charlie Kirk? Y'all have been calling him an anti-Semite? Y'all have been calling him a traitor and all this good stuff? Because that's exactly what you're saying. And I don't think even a lot of MAGA has made that connection yet.
Probably take a second to fully absorb what is being implied there. What is being implied there is that there is no truth and there is no loyalty within you. And for that reason, I genuinely pity you. I am not angry. I am not upset. I don't want to rant at you. I believe you are in a situation that I would never want to be in, surrounded by advisors who hate you to their core. But they understand you. They know how to insulate you. They know how to watch you and encourage you to self-destruct because they perceive you as weak. And weakness is a means for them to fulfill their own ends. Sadly, you've now lived long enough to become everything that you once claimed Hillary Clinton was.
Yep.
Respectfully. We'll be right back after a brief break. All right, you guys, thanks to you last year, Preborn helped to rescue over 80,000 babies. And today you can help.
And all right, guys, let's make sure we're double tapping that screen and liking the video. Appreciate the support, by the way, guys. And you know what? We're going to take a little break to play this little quick clip. Don't worry, we'll be right back. Make sure you double tap that screen and like the video. I played this last night. So this is pretty much how Trump pretty much got convinced into going to war with Iran. Let's get right into it.
All right, BB, what do you got for me? Mr. President, the time is now. The Iranians are weak and a joint U.S.-Israeli mission could finally bring an end to the Islamic Republic. Our intelligence says Iran's ballistic missile program could be destroyed in a few weeks. We can kill their leaders, and they'd be so weak and they could not choke off the Strait of Hormuz. And the likelihood of them landing blows against U.S. interests in neighboring countries is low. How would we effectuate the regime change? Street protests inside Iran would begin, and with the help of Mossad, we would foment riots and rebellion. Iranian Kurds could also assist. Mr. President, this is the time. Thanks, BB, for your presentation. My team and I will discuss. Can we get our intelligence people to look into this? We have broken down Mr. Netanyahu's presentation into 4 parts. 1, decapitation, which is killing the Iranian supreme leader. 2, crippling Iranian capacity to project power. 3, a popular uprising in Iran. And 4, regime change. It is our assessment the first 2 objectives are achievable with American might, while the 3rd and 4th parts are detached from reality. Just to summarize, Mr. President, regime change is farcical. In other words, Mr. President, it's bullshit. I would say regime change could happen, but it shouldn't be considered an objective. Yeah, I would advise against all this greatly. General Kane, what do you think? Sir, this is, in my experience, standard operating procedure for the Israelis. They oversell and their plans are not always well developed. They know they need us, and that's why they're hard selling. Okay, got it. Regime change would be their problem, but if we do this, it would be to kill their leaders and decapitate their military. Mr. President, any major campaign against Iran would drastically deplete our stockpiles with no clear path to replenishing. The Strait of Hormuz is also a real risk. Really? I think the regime would capitulate before it came to the Strait. I'm thinking this could be a very quick war, just like the 12-day war in Venezuela. Mr. President, I think we should do it. I'm more ambivalent. I don't think the Iranians will agree to a negotiated deal, but I prefer a campaign of maximum pressure rather than a full-scale war. I have concerns, but I defer to others on this topic. I think this is the worst idea ever, and I prefer no strike, but if we're going to do it, it should be limited. I think we're going to do it. If that's so, use overwhelming force so our objectives are achieved quickly. Yeah, I hear you. Hold on, Tucker Carlson's calling. Hello? Mr. President, don't start a war with Iran. I know you're worried about it, but it's going to be okay. How do you know? Because it always is. All right, team, we got a new piece of intelligence that the Iranian Supreme Leader will be at an above-ground meeting with other top officials wide open for an air attack. I think we have to do this. Thoughts? Well, Mr. President, here's what the attack will look like from a military military perspective, you know I think this is a bad idea, but if you want to do it, I'll support you. If you feel this is needed for America's national security, go ahead. It is pretty rare to have the Iranian supreme leader and other top leaders in a gathering spot we can strike, so if you define regime change as just killing the supreme leader, we can probably do that. The plan put forward is legally permissible. But what's your personal opinion? I'm a Marine veteran, sir, who knows people killed by the Iranians, so if Israel intends to proceed regardless, we should go ahead. Mr. President, this would be a public relations nightmare. The American people voted for you partly for no new wars. It's your decision, Mr. President, and the press team will manage it as best as we can. We have to take care of the Iranians eventually, might as well now. There's many risks, but if you order the operation, we will execute. If our goal is regime change or an uprising, we shouldn't do it, but if the goal is to destroy Iran's missile program, that's a goal we can achieve. All right, we're doing it.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much how it went, guys. Pretty much how we got in here. But all right, let's get back to Candace.
Word, right?
Oh,
It's
don't forget to double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Let's get more people in the conversation by liking the video. And also, let's not forget to support the channel by super chatting in. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting that icon above. All right, back to it.
like women can be catty, but when men are wishy-washy and they stab people in the back, it hits different. And CNN actually, which I guess Trump is watching for their polls, their reliable polls, put together a pretty brutal montage of Trump. Take a look at this.
I just mentioned a name, but a woman who I saw the other night on television just ripped some poor idiot apart. Megyn Kelly is here, and she's doing it. Come up, brother. Come up here, Megyn. By the way, I'm having